Hello there, welcome back to Tunisia and the Sons of Carthage. Last time we didn't actually have much happening, which made for a rather boring episode, but we're basically up and running now. The war against, we'll probably end up in a war against Spain, but I think we're going to fight Corsica first here. And the reason for that is hilariously simple. I actually need Corsica. It's one of the provinces that are required to do the achievement. Surprisingly enough, it's actually fact that. And there we go, Fez has been integrated. They couldn't resist our culture. It was a very, very nice culture. But anyways, as I'm saying here, I now know what is required to do the achievement. I need this and this. That's basically all that I require that I currently do not have in Spain. And I need, of course, Palermo and Messina and Corsica. That's basically all I need to do the achievement. So we're basically almost done. I basically just need to fight a war against the Spanish for 3 more provinces, which in turn should be actually rather simple, all things considered. But we might go a little bit further than that, just for fun. And it seems like I don't actually have to do much here. Seems like my vassals will take care of it. Let's face it, Bohemia is not something to worry about. The worst case scenario, they get themselves down here and take these provinces, but we can always retake that. It's not like it's the end of the world. So again, for the time being, I think I'll create 3 16,000 armies just to, well, get things back on the way. We have a lot of money, so it's not like it's a horrible decision to do so. We kind of need the power anyways. So I think I'm going to recreate my armies. I'm going to, as I said, create 3 16,000 man armies, which will bring our troop count up to 48,000. It will help us in defense, of course, but it will also most likely be a great army that will be stationed here for our war against Spain in the future. It's definitely going to be necessary to have a proper army for that, so I think the 16,000 man layout will be something along the lines of this, 826. It should be a fairly alright combination. I might go for having 2 armies like that and 112,000 regulars and 4,000 cannons. I think that could work. But I think this will be the basis of my army for a little bit longer here, at least until I can get a little bit bigger armies. So we'll do the upgrades, if you will, and then I'll get back to you. The war against Corsica should be more or less straightforward, to be perfectly honest. I was kind of counting on Naples here to do it on their own, but I guess they decided it was not their duty. But not too much I can do about that. I'm going to upgrade the armies as said, and I'm going to send this army here to take Corsica for us. Ottomans are back in a positive mood, which is of course wonderful for us. We'll have to wait a bit before we can actually ally them again, due to the fact that the war with Corsica is going to take at least 5 years before we can go for that annexation. So we're going to be at it for 3 more years before we can do anything, unfortunately. Portugal is definitely losing the war. They'll probably have to give some concessions, a province or 2 most likely, so not looking good there. Spain is back up at about 50,000 soldiers, so we have about the same amount. Of course, my vassal armies are going to be really, really helpful in a future war, but I'm a little bit unsure how we're going to handle the future wars, so to speak. I think we're going to go with taking the last province that I require, this one, and then I'm probably just going to annex, of course take all of the province that I require, and then we're probably just going to start annexing vassals by starting with most likely Naples, provided that we completely get them, because I would really like to get southern Italy too. It would make the map look a little bit better, I think. Not much Italy, but a little bit helps. Now this tech, I think we're just going to take it right away, although I do have the increase in narrow-minded to get a little bit of extra of our missionaries. But with this we have an upgrade, diplomatic tech to level 14, the galleys. With that I get an upgrade to my ships, which you might as well just take right away. As you can see, 52 ships will get an improvement and will cost me 505 ducats. That's not cheap, but it will probably pay for itself down the line, so I shouldn't whine too much. Now, for the time being, we'll just have to sit by here and wait again, and hopefully we can get Corsica next rather soon. The gods might just be smiling on me, if you will. France just left the military coalition against us. Portugal is still only allied with Great Britain, and with that we can just fabricate a claim here on Algarve, or of course Madeira, this little island, which would be actually interesting. But what I think we're actually going to do, if we actually end up in a war against Portugal, a war that we can win, is that we're probably going to take this island and of course the territories down here, because that means that I can start making some gains in Southern Africa, which of course also will keep on building on my power. Black news indeed, stability drop, Sultan dead, we have a new one, 432, pretty damn good, especially if we compare it to the last one, and exceptional heir, 633, we all remember what happened in the last one, he died. Let's hope this is not the case right now. We're going to establish Sheikh ul-Islam's office, with which gives some missionary strength, denouncement of sects practices, -1 to national unrest, and we're going to introduce Jizya for 5% extra tax, so all of those are actually useful, and we're also going to boost up stability right away. So that is fine, but I think we might go for a war here against Portugal. I'm a little bit unsure if we'll actually take the territories down here, but it will definitely be interesting to do so, just to, well, start getting a little bit more power in the area here, and we would definitely be able to make something work. We also have some Spanish colonies that we could actually start nitpicking at if we really wanted to, so we might do that too. We'll just have to wait here and see what we actually end up with. Fighting Spain right now could definitely become interesting, all things considered. If I manage to drag Venice in on my side as well as the Ottomans, that means we have complete sea superiority, and just battles here are going to be harsh. That's going to basically be the line of it. But for the time being, we'll not do much, we'll just wait and see. I'm a little bit worried tech-wise here. I might have to wait until diplomatic tech 5 or 15 before we can even consider attacking them, due to the fact that they will have better caravels and better carracks than us, and thus could slaughter our army. Also, of course, the land morale of a whole point at 16 is kind of important, as well as the military tactics and new units. So I think we'll wait for at least military tech 15 before we consider attacking them, because they're definitely going to get it during the war if we do end up in a war situation. So we'll be careful here and try not to overexert and get ourselves into trouble that way. For the time being, however, we'll just have to wait for the conquest of Corsica to end. It's still going to take a while before we can do that, 2 more years. So I'll sit by peacefully and we'll see what happens. Well, this is kind of too tempting to not to. Spain is currently at war with Savoy, Tuscany and Venice. They are allied with Provence and Milan. Now, let's face it, if I were to declare war here, we would get into a very interesting position. As you can see, only Provence would dare to join at this time. Milan is already being crushed, so they'll probably not join at all later on. And if we go for taking Core Palermo, which is definitely going to be, well, likely. What I can actually do to make things even more interesting is that I don't need Calabria, I just need these two. So if I hand them over to Aragon, which is a likely scenario, hand this back to Naples, I can keep Naples as a Italian vassal, which could actually be, you know, kind of useful. Then I'll just have to annex Granada and Aragon, which of course would be helpful. So if we take a quick look here on military power, they have 70,000 men right now, which is a lot. It's really a lot. The only way that we're going to win this is by a war of attrition, where I'm going to be sacrificing these 7 provinces that we have here. Aragon and everyone is not going to be liking this stipulation or setup, but it's kind of what has to be done. There are no troops also in Spain or Italy. Sorry, there are no troops in Italy, so setting up sieges there will also be really easy. So we'll just transport. While we wait for morale to go a little bit up, we'll just transport the required amount of troops there. With the fleet here helping us, it should be possible to win this. Let's just be honest. This could be what I've been going after. So for Aragon, we're going to take back Core Palermo. That is going to be the war goal. And again here, I think this is something that is definitely winnable. Although if you consider my past experiences with what is winnable and what is not, I might make a horrible mistake here. Anyways, we're going to just set up sieges. I'm going to get the rest of the troops there, and we're probably just going to again give up this area for, well, for the area down here. It's probably what we will have to do, especially if you consider the troops amount of troops in action. And let's face it, the pity or pain or whatever you want to call it given by these promises will not be. It won't be much. It will barely be noticeable from where we are standing. So I think this is the right choice to just make a war with this in mind. I'll just have to make sure that I catch their fleets if they have any. So it will be interesting to see how this pans out, but hopefully it will pan out in my favor. We'll just have to wait and see. The main problem, of course, is that they're going to be feeding the war score with these 1,000-man regiments they're creating all over the place. But other than that, I hope that we will be fine in the long run. Anyways, unfortunately it's taken me a little bit too long to record this episode, so I have to leave this early. You do have my apologies, but we are going to fight the war against Spain next time. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. Bye.